I was given a week to watch over my loved ones after I died, but they turned out to be two-faced snakes. I was so happy today. I had just been chosen as the best student in school. Everyone was cheering, celebrating, and I was on top of the world. But that night, as I was heading home in my taxi, everything changed. The car swerved and then pain. A sharp pain shot through my head and everything went black. The next thing I knew, I felt a tap on my shoulder. I woke up, disoriented, surrounded by chaos. People were rushing, ambulances everywhere. It looked like an accident, but I couldn't remember what happened. And then, I heard a male voice, deep and calm. "Let's go." I froze. "Who are you?" I asked, panic creeping in. "What's happening?" He just looked at me, no emotion in his face, and said, "Your time has come. I'm here to take you." I couldn't believe it. No way, I thought. This is crazy. I tried to run, but my feet wouldn't move. Then I saw it, the trolley. My body, lifeless. I was dead. I screamed out, tried to talk to the people around me, but they didn't respond. It was like I wasn't even there. The man, Death as he called himself, told me, "It's your time. Stop fighting it." "No, please," I begged. "Give me another chance. I have a family. I need to say goodbye." Just as I was about to lose hope, a beautiful woman stepped forward, wearing flowing white clothes. She looked at Death and said softly, "Let her go. Let her see." He hesitated, then sighed. "All right. A week, but no one will see you. You can watch, but you won't like what you find." With that, I found myself walking through the world like a ghost. No one noticed me, no one could hear me. I went straight to the hospital, where they told my parents I was gone. They were broken. My family, my friends, they were all crying. My youngest sibling, hugging my things, couldn't stop crying. I felt the guilt in my chest, heavy like a stone. Then I was at my funeral. People everywhere, my classmates, teachers, relatives, people I barely knew. The news had spread fast. Social media was flooded with posts. "I can't believe you're gone. You were so young, so full of life." I couldn't help but feel grateful that I had so many people who loved me, or so I thought. But soon I realized the truth. It wasn't love. It was all for show. None of it was real. I was confused, struggling to wrap my head around what Death had said because everything seemed to be fine in eyes. "What do you mean by that?" "I wouldn't want to see it. I don't want to leave. I have people who love me. People care about me more than I thought they would," I said, still holding on to some hope. Death gave me a soft, almost sad smile. "I don't want to hurt your feelings, but you need to see this. You need to see the truth. This will help you move on with clarity." Then, before I could say anything else, he grabbed my hand, and in an instant, we were standing in the middle of a conversation between my relatives. The words hit me like a wave, drowning me. I heard one of them say, "It's honestly a blessing she's gone. She was always so messed up. A secret boyfriend? Lying to everyone about it. And to top it off, she was sleeping with the teacher. At 16, no less. Honestly, it's good she's gone." I could barely breathe. The pain in my chest was unbearable. How could they say that about me? How could they talk about me like that when I thought they cared? I was the best student in the school. I helped them, and this is how they saw me? They tore me apart with their words, saying how much better their own daughter was than I could ever be. They looked at me like I was nothing. And then, like salt in a wound, someone else added, "You know, heard when she died she was flirting with the taxi driver." Every word was a blade, cutting deeper and deeper. The people I trusted most, the ones who should have been there for me, turned out to be the ones who threw me away the quickest. They found any reason to break me down, to compare me, to tear me apart. The truth was unbearable, but I had to see it. I couldn't cry, there were no tears left. I was a spirit now, no longer alive, no longer a physical body, but the pain I felt, it was still there. It hurt so much that I could feel my chest tightening, but there was no place to release the pain. No one could see me. I couldn't even scream. I just stood there, numb, broken, floating through the moment, when suddenly a hand landed on my shoulder. It was Death, comforting me. "I know it's a lot to take in all at once, but this is what happens to most people when they die," he said softly. "I've seen millions, billions of people pass, and most of them find this out. It's rare that someone dies and sees real love from those around them. That's the lesson you're supposed to learn. So, do you have to see this every time?" I asked, still trying to understand. He smiled a little, looking up. "Every time. Some are lucky enough to have genuine love, but that's very rare. As for me, it was even worse. But I don't remember that anymore. That's why I became Death. I'm the one who guides people, who helps them move on. You're one of the lucky ones, at least you get to see this now." I didn't ask anything more. His words were enough to make me understand something deeper, something I wasn't ready to accept. I didn't want to accept it. And yet, here I was, learning the harsh truth, not just about those around me but also about Death death itself. I had always imagined death as something I should hate, but now I found myself understanding it more than I ever did my own family. Was it wrong? Was it right? I wasn't sure, but I felt more connected to death than I ever had with the people I thought I loved. Then I asked death to take me to my school. I don't know what I will see deep down, but I was afraid. Maybe they're the ones who loved me, or maybe there's nothing, but I have to see the positive. This is the last time I will ever get to know what's real. I'm not going to take the chance, even if it hurts. Are you sure? Death asked. I took a deep breath, even though I actually couldn't. I don't know, maybe I am, but this is my last chance. I won't miss it. He looked at me and told me, you really are one brave little spirit. The next second I was at school. It was lunchtime and my classmates were talking about my death. It was a really hot topic. I heard some of them saying, you know, it's really sad that she died. She was our friend. I feel bad for them. And then another girl said, what the heck do you mean? She was literally fake. I don't even know if she actually died. How do you think she got the best title? Of course she slept with the teacher. Everyone knows that. Or how else would someone get that? There are so many better students. Why did she get that and she even got the best of it? It's just not possible for her to do that. Another girl said, yeah, actually that's what I thought. Maybe she's not even dead. She doesn't even talk to people or have fun. That really hurt me. I couldn't believe it. I mean, how can they just say that? I could handle my relatives because they are family, but friends? How can they say that? Some people I don't even know. How can they say that? I just slept. Why does everyone say that about the teacher? It was so hard to take. I wanted to go, but no. I will not. I feel hate, but I know I can't hate people anymore. I don't need to hate them. They won't even be in my life anymore. I just hope that I will take this lesson with me to my next life, but I had something else that would help. I went towards my best friends. I heard them talking about me too, but they were saying, I can't believe that happened to her. She didn't deserve that. I really do miss her. And the others agreed. I was so happy because I realized that there's finally someone who loves me. Finally, someone cares about me. I know that they care about me. I looked at Death, but his smile, it's not what I expected. I thought he would be happy for me, but then I realized why. Then they started up the conversation again. They said, you know, sometimes I didn't even like her. She was just trouble. And sometimes, you know, I don't know why, but it kind of feels better without her. Another one said, yeah, I agree. What did she even do for us? She was always serious with her studies. I was speechless. It felt like I was being dragged down into an endless dark hole. Do you even miss her? One of them said, it's fine without her. You know, less trouble. I heard she had something going on with the teacher. Maybe she did. She was always at the office. Another one said, you can't say that. She studied a lot. Come on, stop defending her. She's not even here. I know you think that too. I didn't even know what to say anymore. So they think of me like that too? Something replaceable, unimportant? That was really heartbreaking. I can't believe I never realized that when I was alive. If I did, I wouldn't have even spent my time with them. I wish I could have nice people in my next life. I looked at Death and told him, I want to go. I don't want to stay anymore. I'm going to go to my next life and spend it wisely and happily. I can take this lesson with me, right? He nodded. Yes, that's part of life. I smiled and told him I was ready, but he said, no, you're not. There's something for you to see. I looked at him, confused. What else is there to say? I don't want to get hurt anymore. He held my hand and said, come with me. He took me to my room. I looked at him asking, why am I here? He pointed at something. I turned my head to look. My sister, my youngest sibling Lisa, was holding my photo and crying her heart out. I ran toward her. It was so painful to see her sad. Even though I saw that my parents were sad too, my mother was crying and they were looking at my pictures. They still loved me. I know that. But seeing Lisa cry, it hurt because she's not the type to cry easily. She's like that cold girl. I went to her and tried to touch her, but I couldn't. She looked up and said, Elle, is that you? I know you're here. Why didn't you tell me? Why did you leave me? I can't live without you. I tried to call her, but I couldn't. She couldn't hear me, but I know she could feel me. I looked at Death and he smiled and nodded as if he was telling me, yes, there are people who love you. I'm glad I could finally see it, even though I already knew. We used to fight a lot, but I didn't know she loved me that much. Why didn't you tell me you were going through all this? She sighed. I looked over her shoulder and I saw she was looking at my old diary. She flipped through the pages. She could read my feelings. I always tried to be kind, even when people were cruel. I feel like no one really understands me. I want to leave something meaningful behind. She looked at the book and said, you know, you might not have been the best for everyone, but you were the best for me. Even though you won't be here anymore, I really love you. I will miss you for the rest of my life, but I know you're here. I know you're trying to say goodbye to us. Yes, the only good thing that could happen to me right now is that you have a beautiful next life where you don't have to worry about those things. That's the only thing I want. And our parents. I love you no matter what." I kissed her forehead and walked out. She smiled at me through her tears. She can't see me, but maybe she feels my presence. I looked at my house for the last time. I was so grateful for the things I never thought I could name, things I had taken for granted. The love, the lessons I learned, even the light of life. I stood in front of my house and life, the beautiful woman, was still in front of me. She held my hand and said, "Life is beautiful. Let's meet again." She let go of my hand, waved at me, and smiled as she disappeared with a glow. I took one last look at my house and saw that Lisa was looking out of the window, waving at me. "She knows I'm there," she shouted. "I love you." And my parents came to see what was happening. She said, "No, nothing." It was really nice to see them like that. I love them, and I was happy and at peace enough to let go of this life and go to my brand new life with all these lessons. I hope I will meet these people again if I can. I looked at death and closed my eyes, and my hand detailed, and I disappeared. I'm not a spirit anymore. I'm someone with a new life. I don't know what it will be, but I know I will be loved by the few people who truly loved me. The end.